सर, हवाई यात्रियों की एक शिकायत रही है कि एयरपोर्ट्स पर खाने पीने की चीजें बेहद महंगी मिलती हैं। एक साधारण सी पानी की बोतल जो 20 रुपए की बाजार में मिलती है, वो एयरपोर्ट के भीतर जाकर फूड आउटलेट पे 100 रुपए की मिलती है। आज यात्री जो इंतजार कर रहे हैं अपनी फ्लाइट का, वो पानी पीकर पेट भर रहा है कि कहीं 250 रुपए की चाय और 350 रुपए का समोसा ना खरीदना पड़ जाए।
Outside the terminal walls, this exact snack costs 30 rupees. Walk through security and the price tag leaps to 200. It is incredibly easy to look at a 500 rupee dosa or a 250 rupee cup of tea and assume the person behind the counter is just exploiting a captive audience. You are stuck at the gate, you are hungry, and they have a monopoly. The math behind that menu tells a much darker story. These prices represent the threshold of survival for businesses operating in a financial ecosystem built on massive hidden debts. To understand why a basic bottle of water costs as much as a plane ticket tax, we have to look at the sprawling complexes where these transactions happen. The operators running these massive hubs are trapped right alongside the people selling the food. The number you see on your receipt is a survival tax. It is the direct result of an infrastructure network desperately trying to keep itself from collapsing under the weight of its own loans. An airport has two revenue channels. First is aeronautical, landing fees and passenger charges. Second is non-aeronautical, retail and food. Here, the government intervenes. To keep air travel accessible, regulators strictly cap aeronautical charges. Airports cannot charge past this limit. At the same time, the cost to build and maintain these hubs is staggering. Take Delhi Fairport, which brings in over 5,400 crores in a year, but 46% of that goes directly to the government. Add in the operational costs and the massive interest payments on their construction loans, and the picture gets grim. Despite handling millions of passengers, India's busiest airports are hemorrhaging cash. Last year, Delhi's airport ended up nearly 1,000 crores in the red. If any normal business faced 1,000 crore deficit, they would simply raise their core prices. But because of that government cap on aeronautical fees, the operators are legally prohibited from extracting a single extra rupee from the airlines or passengers. Policies designed to protect your wallet when you book a flight leave the airport operator with an enormous hole in their balance sheet, and they have only one place left to look for the cash. The government does not regulate the non-aeronautical side. Retail stores, duty-free shops, and food courts are unprotected from the airport's need to recover its losses. To guarantee they make up the shortfall, airports don't just charge flat rent. They force vendors into a financial structure built around something called a minimum guarantee fee. This fee isn't based on how many sandwiches a stall sells. It is tied directly to the total number of people walking through the terminal. In Pune, the base rate was set around 21 rupees per domestic passenger. If 90 lakh passengers walk past, the vendor owes over a crore, even if zero buy anything. And that is just the baseline. Giant master concessionaires bid against each other to win the floor space, promising even higher per passenger payouts. Once they win, they carve up the space and sublet it to individual food brands, stacking their own massive profit margins on top. The mega airport operates entirely like a desperate landlord. It takes the billion-dollar deficit created by government policies and drops it directly onto the tiny square footage of the terminal floor. In a standard restaurant business on a normal city street, if rent eats up more than 20% of your revenue, you are in serious trouble. Anything over 30% is widely considered a financial death zone. Because of the exorbitant minimum guarantees, food stalls inside major hubs like Mumbai or Delhi start their existence inside that death zone. Rent begins by devouring over 35% of their total revenue from the very first day. To cover a multi-crore rental agreement, a stall has to move a staggering volume of inventory. Depending on the average order value, they might need to sell hundreds of individual items every single day just to hit the break-even point on the floor space alone. The math leaves no room for culinary excellence. Vendors strip down ingredient quality. They load up on packaged goods packed with preservatives to extend shelf life and eliminate food waste. And most obviously, they hike prices to extract the absolute maximum margin out of every single transaction. Only ultra-efficient multinational fast food chains can withstand this environment. These giants rely on hyper-optimized supply chains to extract margins that would be impossible for a local vendor to achieve. These giant brands often ignore the immediate profit of the kitchen. They view the families at the gate as a specific affluent demographic and treat the exorbitant rent as a marketing expense to acquire the country's most valuable audience. The 200 rupee samosa represents a hidden survival tax. It is the direct cost of keeping a heavily indebted, tightly regulated aviation system from falling apart.